Hi, everyone. So it's time for panel discussion now. And I think we have Professor Tai Hua Mu from China live attending this discussion, and also Professor Camire from USA. And I have Professor Jaspreet Singh with me.
Hello.
Yeah, so you have heard presentations from them already. So we'll be just discussing. So we got some questions for the speakers as well. So maybe I'll go through the questions first, and I'll give a chance to the speakers to respond to the questions we got from the audience. And after that, we'll continue with the general panel discussion. So I have I would like to start with Professor Mu. So Professor Mu, my first question is, are you working on developing any cultivars differing in amylose to amylopectin content or differing starch properties?
I think, Professor Mu, you need to unmute your mic.
Oh, yeah. Can see you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so your question is, you mean what a different type, different cultivar potato?
Yes.
For, yeah.
So,
oh, excuse me, please.
Been working? Yeah.
Yeah. We. Yeah. Could you please repeat your question again?
Sure. So are you working on developing cultivars differing in amylose or amylopectin content, or cultivars with different starch properties?
Yeah, we not only potato but also working for the sweet potato starch, also corn starch, the structure of the starch. Of course, we work a lot of many work about the amino content of the different amylopectin radio of the different starch radio structure. Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. So
it's right.
And you mentioned yeah. That's awesome. So you mentioned about the potato, China have a year of potato, or
the staple food policy.
China's staple food policy. Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
My question is, what is the response of the Chinese population to that policy?
About the China staple food policy, yeah, this is the long story, long story, but I will explain short time. Okay. As you may know, China is lack natural agriculture resource. For example, we lack north of China lack water resources. Also, we have many populations in China. So in area that mainly produce winter wheat more than about 65% of available water is used for agriculture. I mean, water very important for Chinese for agriculture. So in south of China, because many years have long year for planting corn and wheat, so waste many waters. But as you may know, the potato is very easy planting. Is this crop is very suitable for lacking I mean, without any water also can growing. So in China, in the north of China, leaking water. So there are 10 now. The normally is annual every year, annual per year rainfall below 400 about 400 millimeter. That is not it means not suitable for planting wheat and corn continuous. So on the other hand, in the south of China, there are many about 100 million acres of farmland that are vacant during winter. Before July. So in China, so there is urgent need to find a new production method for this farmland. It means south of China during winter need to plant in some crops. North of China, we cannot continue to every year continue to grow the corn, wheat. So which crop is suitable for this potato? So as I mentioned, I have mentioned in today's presentation, potato also because many advantage. For example, nutrition value higher, including vitamin C. Vitamin C, as you may know, because we are food science. So nutrition value higher, also very high adaptability of potato in the for adaptability high production in China. I mean, is very popular in China, both south and north side.
Yes.
So our minister into about 2013, our minister agriculture received the idea firstly, potato stable food strategy. It means use potato make food stable food. Stable food it means the in China, many Chinese people like eat every day eat the stable food. Stable food in China, we have main 4 stable food. One is steam bread. Wheat noodle in north of China. In south of China, we have rice and rice noodle. Okay, the 4 type. So our Minister of Agriculture, firstly, in 2030, raised the potato staple food because how to use this is a lot of potato for food. We first consider to make the staple food. Also, this staple food is very popular in China, not like McDonald's, Kentucky. The fried potato is rich many oil. We need a very good, better for health. The steam bread, also bread is also considered. Okay, so also in the about 2050, our minister, Prime Minister Li Keqiang, indicated clear in executive meeting of the state council in the China. they said China will carry out the promotion action of potato staple food protection. And then our Minister of Agriculture indicates that in the farming working point in 2015, this also is the document, that China will promote potato staple food products and industry development activity. And the next year, in 2060, in the China Central, every year, New Year, first day, our government give the one document, the Central First document. Inside also writes that China will promote potato staple food development. So our group around this, of course, our institute belong to our Minister of Agriculture. So we need a service for supporting this policy. So we have a lot of work to develop some staple food, for example, staple steam bread, noodles. Of course, we develop these foods. We consider balance, not, for example, different radio to put the potato mash or powder, mixed with wheat, mixed with oats, with other food. Of course, we need to calculate. For example, the GI index. Also, we consider how to reduce calorie, and how to improve some nutrition value up. So we have a lot of work about this. Also, we work about digestibility. It's easy for human absorb or not to study about it, have a rich research about this. So, as I mentioned in the presentation, we have also developed some new steam bread already go to Beijing market, supermarket. Okay. It's 30%. Yeah, 18%. Yeah, Jaspreet, Professor Jaspreet, maybe eaten this. Had eaten it before. Steam bread and bread, 30%, 50% radio. Yeah. Recently, we also continue to improve the steam bread qualities and more nutrition, more up the volume, nutrition volume up. Okay. So anyway, we are working for Chinese government's policy, stable food policy, potato. So we have at the moment, we still continue work for that. Okay.
Thanks, Professor Mo. Yeah, so I'll come back to you. And Professor Camire, I have a question for you if you're online. Please unmute yourself.
Yes. So, no, that's an excellent question. I just read it. Go ahead. Please, I think she wants to introduce herself. Yes, please. Well, it's funny, I didn't mention it in my presentation, but what I've seen is oftentimes an infant's first solid food is a fast food French fry. And so it's hard to overcome that kind of built-in liking. But we're seeing now, in response to people wanting more healthful foods, that many processors are making small, convenient bags. So they're pre-washed small potatoes. Often they could be purple potatoes, purple flesh and purple skin, red skinned white flesh, white, brown skin, yellow flesh, and even sweet potatoes. So all the consumer has to do is put the bag into the microwave and cook it for a few minutes. And that seems to be growing as something that's easy for people. They don't have to peel. They don't have to do anything but put it in the microwave, which is very appealing to working families. We're also seeing more targeted marketing of potatoes to consumers so that they know which ones are good for boiling, that have a higher moisture content, which ones are better for baking, so that people don't buy a potato and then are unhappy and never buy them again. What we're seeing also is mixed dishes that are frozen. So they're partly cooked frozen potatoes mixed with other vegetables or sauces. So again, all that the person has to do is put it in the microwave and cook it. So that seems to be something that's working. We're also trying to do more education of our lower income families, because many times they don't have cooking skills that other people have. And so to teach them in group classes how to easily prepare potatoes at home, so they're not having to just eat fried potatoes. So that consumer education piece is as important as having the products available in the grocery store.
Yeah, so I have a question for Professor Camire. We know that if you look at the history of the emergence of McDonald's and other fast food companies or giants, and we know that they mainly started from United States. And at the time when these chains were emerging, people were crazy for having burgers and French fries. Now with time, and especially when the consumer is quite aware about the bad effects of either, like these fried foods or high carb and those things, I wonder what's the scene at the moment in US? Are the people's mind a little bit changing from those fast food, especially French fries? And what are your views on that?
Well, first I want to say that one of the largest French fry manufacturers for food service is McCain's Food, which is based in our neighbor, New Brunswick, Canada. So they have been a major force in the global French fry market. People are aware French fries are not healthful for them. For some consumers, they just don't care. I guess an advantage we have to play to is that French fries are not very appealing once they get cold. So people who are taking their food away, they may not want to eat the fries once they get cold and they just get the grease. We do have one large national quick service restaurant chain, Wendy's, which offers baked potatoes. And that has become a popular spot for people who are more, if people have a choice of going to a burger place or see Wendy's, they will go to Wendy's where they can pick a healthful salad or a baked potato or chili. So we're seeing that trend. And also more delivery services. So people can order things and have those delivered to their office or to their home. And so there's more opportunities to create mixed dishes with potatoes for those kinds of opportunities.
So I heard your presentation and you mentioned about the health effects, potatoes effects on health. So there are some contradictions in the literature, right? So some people are saying potatoes are good for health, and most of the people are saying they're bad for health. So what is your opinion based on the research that you have done so far?
It's been difficult because we have researchers who have formed very strong personal opinions and may not be open to listening to other points of view. That's a problem in the United States in general. And some of the research has been funded by the potato industry. So that makes people concerned that perhaps that the data are biased. However, that particularly the Harvard group has been unusually harsh in their criticism of potatoes as a food and disregarding the importance of it to food security in filling the bellies of children in poor families. Though we're seeing consistently that there isn't a strong relationship between potato consumption outside of fried foods with hypertension or strokes. And so that's an encouraging sign. Obesity is a multifactorial problem, and so is type 2 diabetes. So there are, I think, to blame one food is not fair because it's a whole system that's at fault. But there's more people out there on YouTube, and don't eat a white potato. It's poison. Eat a sweet potato or a purple potato, but not a white potato. And these may be medical doctors, and they're on the Dr. Oz TV show, but that doesn't mean that they really understand the science of how the whole diet affects human health. So we have a long way to go. It's hard when we have groups that are active in the media telling people over and over again, don't eat potatoes, and we're not getting enough positive news out to consumers that they can be beneficial.
So maybe consuming potatoes as part of a well-balanced diet would be the way to go, rather than consuming a lot of carbs and so on.
Yes, and that we encourage people to eat more fruits and vegetables, and potatoes are a vegetable, but that to balance and make sure they're, I like to go by the color, are they getting their orange and their yellow and their purple in their day as well. And then hopefully the potato may have some color to it and help in that respect as well.
Okay, right. So thank you very much. So now I'll just move on to the general sort of a discussion.
Yeah. I have a question for Professor Mu, actually, if he's still with us. Professor Mu.
Hello.
China is the largest producer in the world for potatoes, and one of the very valuable ingredients from the potatoes is potato protein, which has wonderful properties as a source of protein ingredient. I wonder if in China the researchers would be looking forward to take out that valuable ingredient from the potatoes and use it for different applications, or in general for export this valuable ingredient. So China is an exporting nation, we know that. So are they thinking about this valuable ingredient out of potatoes? Do you see any future in this regard?
Yeah. You mean potato? Yeah, nutrition value very high. Potato also, sweet potato also. Potato, what different potato be compared to sweet potato? Potato, vitamin C, rich vitamin C content higher level. I mean, average value is higher than sweet potato. Sweet potato rich what? Beta carotene. Beta carotene. Yeah, beta carotene. Vitamin A transfer to in our body. Okay. Also vitamin beta carotene, alpha carotene. Depending different color. White color reached, of course, the purple color reach the polyphenol. For example, the pigment, is anthocyanic. So how to develop in the future? I think we need to not only potato fixed on one crop. We need to mix. We first for human health is very important. People eating one food first maybe is based important things is delicious or not delicious. Okay, if not delicious, even this food very good for health. Also, nutrition value higher. People don't continue to every day to eat this. So for us, I think both for food scientists, I think is better. Develop new food is best. One important thing, delicious is very important. Also, second, the nutrition, also including function properties are okay or not okay. We need to consider. Okay, so for that, in the near future, I think we can develop potato food to mix other crop, for example, wheat, corn, sweet potato. Also, sweet potato, mixed potato also can improve in the nutrition value. I already told you beta carotene, vitamin A increased, but unfortunately, potato vitamin A lower value, lower. So I need to multi-food, multi-material, not only one thing, a potato based. No, I don't think so. I think mix different material, different resource. Also develop the potato for nutrient. It's a very important thing is how to storage the potato for long time. For our scientists, food scientists, I think we need to consider, for example, to make a mash, to make a powder, flour, and let the shelf life to longer. And so we use this like wheat powder, flour. We can make a different food, bread, baguette, and different. But also potato flour or mash material is very important. So if we see in the near future how to develop the potato industry, so I think is one thing is delicious. First, how to make delicious food. Second, how to multi-material, different material to mix. And last one is I think is we need to use to get many the long shelf life material, the potato powder or mash for supporting the food industry, because if food industry need every day to running the machine, they cannot lack the material. Okay, so wheat, corn, why they very popular in the world? Because not need we take long take the money for storage of storage. I mean easy to make powder, because the water mostly content very low weight. But potato, sweet potato, is similar to vegetable, rich water. Oh, this is very important. How to use the economic technique to reduce cost and make a powder mash. I don't know. I explain this is okay for you or not?
Yeah, I know that's yeah.
Yeah. So I think I think we have discussed this a bit, but maybe if anybody wants to discuss a bit more about that. So I have this question here. So are the scientists and food companies doing enough to bring potatoes to the future consumer's plate? Because consumer perceptions are changing. So they're consumer these days very clever. So they're considering sustainability, taste, convenience, and so on. So are we doing enough or are the companies or scientists, they're doing enough to highlight potatoes, or are they going to disappear in the future? So any views on that? Yeah. So anybody would like to start?
Yeah, well, I think I can start by saying that with the emergence of the potato-based diets, and I think it's an equal trend in the US or probably to some extent in China as well, that consumers, they want more plant-based diets now. And the classical examples for that are the meat analogs, meat substitutes, and other protein-based foods, which comes from the plant sources rather than from the animal sources. Every scientist in this world is looking at the UN Sustainability Development Goals, which actually suggests the sustainable ingredients. And when we think about sustainable ingredients, plants come first in our minds because they more sustainable than growing animals. We were looking at, apart from the meat analogs, I was looking at the plant-based cheese, plant-based other milk, and those products. And I've noticed that when I was looking at the plant-based cheese, the major ingredient in the plant-based cheese was potato starch, along with some plant-based fats. So potatoes they have the potential to be a part of the sustainability commitments and our sustainability goals. So I think it's just some new ways we need to find out to process them in a way that we present them to the consumer in a way that fits the consumer's psychology. Like Lovedeep has mentioned, consumers now aware of, they're considering sustainability, they consider price, they consider taste, they're considering everything, and of course nutrition, safety. So these are some of the things, and I think potato is not going to disappear. They would stay, but I think we need to work hard on finding ways to present them in the consumer's plate in a way that it looks attractive. Yeah. So we would seek your thoughts, Professor Mu and Professor Camire, please.
Yeah, we can have many cooperation each other after.
Yeah.
I don't think in the United States there's been a big drive to do more potato processing research. Most of the funding from the US government for potato research is towards breeding programs. And so those have yielded some very good results, and we're focusing on climate change. But things like using non-thermal processing, aseptic processing, perhaps in Europe and Asia, there are aseptically processed potatoes, but you can't find them in the United States. And again, when you go to the grocery store, there's shelf-stable rice that just needs to be microwaved for a minute and it's ready to eat. And so to have that kind of ease of preparation for potato products would open up to a lot of other consumers, particularly older consumers who don't want to do a lot of cooking, and they're not going to fry at home for sure, but opening cans is difficult for them, and maybe they don't have much freezer room. So something that they could keep in their cabinet that was ready to cook and be safe would be something that would be very successful.
Right. Yes.
That's great. All right. So again, I think the next question is, we have covered a tiny bit, but what are the important areas scientists should be working on to enhance the consumer acceptability and nutritional value of potatoes? We have covered, like, Professor Camire, she mentioned different non-thermal processing, to improve the functional properties and perhaps improve the nutritional attributes as well. Maybe, may result in low GI. And the breeding programs, I'm not sure if they are focusing on developing low GI cultivars, because consumers are really, really running away from, high glycemic index products. So, yeah. So, yeah, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the development of the cultivars with low glycemic impact and low glycemic features, people would like them, and there have been few sort of cultivars which were released in the New Zealand market. I know there was one was launched in Australia a few years ago, and people still like to buy them. They can buy them at a little bit of premium price as well. There are few varieties over in Europe which are having claims regarding low glycemic features. So people, I think they would still like them, but they're still not at a level of where we have the low glycemic index French fries available in the market. There are no low glycemic potato wedges available. And so, you know, these are some of the things where we need to see the potatoes sort of coming and taking the place in this, you know, healthy foods market. So this is something I think we need to work on, and particularly from I think the China's potato staple food policy. If the China is going to sort of work on making the potatoes as a part of their staple diet, this means that they will have a reduced burden on the other crops. I know that in China, rice is very popular. So taking burden out of rice through potatoes would be marvelous. And I think it's a great policy of China government, where they're looking at replacing some parts of the other staples with potato. And I think we should encourage that in the other parts of the world as well. And typically from the sustainability point of view, it is important as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with Professor. just great. In China, you know, the staple food is a very steamed bread, for example, steamed bread, noodle, very tradition food. The tradition food is almost Chinese people. It means very consumer in China. The acceptable for this food. So for North China, every morning, night, dinner, breakfast, every day to eat this. So I think firstly, we develop this new food. I already told you. Firstly, delicious. Our food scientists need not only for develop new food, only nutrition value higher or function property very higher. That is like medicine, not our work. Our work, I think, firstly, delicious depending different region people's habit. Okay, for maybe for New Zealand people, you have European style food is very popular. For example, for China, we have breakfast. We like the steamed bread, noodle, every day. So how to use the potato or other any food, any crop to transfer to people very popular food. This is very important. This is very important. So our group, I already told you, we use potato not to do many work for study for European style food, because not this food. In China, of course, many people gradually to like this, but almost people in pharma, most people don't like. So our work, of course, continue to develop the suitable for Chinese people taste the food. This is our continue next in the near future. We continue need to do this very important things research, I think.
Okay.
So around this,
just another quick question.
Also, we need to consider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue, please. Yeah. Yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry, I just jumped on asking a question. Yeah.
Okay. So also we need to, because potato have some toxin component, solanine, maybe you know solanine, some green color solanine rich inside. This is very dangerous. Huh? So before processing potato food, we need to remove this danger. Also, we need carefully checking to remove this. This is different other, yeah. Of course, other wheat corn also have some danger components. So for potato special, the green color potato already this quality already changed. So we need to, before processing, we need to remove. So anyway, nutrition value delicious also very important. This is the nutrition. Oh yeah, nutrition value higher. Not Netherlands, China, all the world. We have one standard, but delicious or not delicious. This depends in different countries, different peoples. Yeah, different nations. Okay.
So thank you, Professor Mo and Professor Camire. So the last question I have is, what would you like to say to the students and the young scientists who are working in this area of research, potato science and technology, potato chemistry? So would you like to say something to them? Any
Professor
message
Camire?
for...
Yes, particularly because you have been associated with IFT and like you've been working in this area, and we would like to have some thoughts from you particularly on that, please.
Well, I think there's a lot of opportunities for us to develop new products and also to tap new markets. So, the fact that potatoes have a high glycemic index, that might be ideal for certain athletes. So we need to be thinking of matching potato quality aspects to different segments of consumers. Maybe the vitamin C and the protein are better for older adults. Market certain potato products to them, but to think about new groups such as athletes and single parents, people who have different nutritional and economic needs, and targeting processed potato products that are healthful but meet their specific health concerns and convenience aspects.
All right. Yeah. So Professor Mo, do you want to give any message for the young scientists and the researchers in potato area? You need to turn on your mic, sir. So your mic is off. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So,
yes.
Maybe or the young scientists or many young scientists already know potato processing industry in the world. I think especially is in the developing country, not developed country. Just the old thinking is poor food, poor people food. Okay, potato. Rich people don't like potato. It's a very old thinking. Okay, very old thinking. So, but we already know potato inside starch, rich starch, protein, sweet potato, splamine, potato batatin, very good quality protein. Amino balance very good, better. Then compare other food, other plant protein. So of course, for some many developing countries, young scientists, I think this still many problem. I mean, in develop the new products, how to develop new products. Just we eating fresher, like a vegetable, not like a industry level to make a lot like a wheat, like a corn. Okay, so many problems. For example, starch processing, we have many waste water, waste residue. This problem, of course, in the developed country, for example, Netherlands or the Denmark already solved. Already no problem now. They can form. They can make some product protein and and fiber pectin from waste material. But for our developing country, still big problem for pollution. Forming pollution for these countries. So for young, I mean, this is challenge for young scientists in the, especially for developing countries, young scientists, how to solve this problem. Yes. So I think our group. Our group would like to continue to supporting if any country young scientists have some question problem, can contact us. Also, I think no problem in Dr. Jack Singer, no problem for your group also. I think especially we need to solve many problems for how to utilize the waste processing waste. So many chance, many challenge for scientist people. So in short, the research on potato food is a permission for young scientists, I think. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Many work can continue to study.
Okay, all right. With that, I think we would conclude this session. And thank you very much for your valuable thoughts and views. So I've taken note of all those views, and I may be in contact, I may contact you in relation to that, how we can further continue this collaboration and move ahead in this space. So it's time now for a short break, half an hour. So we will come back for the next session, which is invited presentations, exactly at 1:50 New Zealand time. And we will see you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.